back in 2011 amid a scandal. Now, 2 years later, he's back with me in studio. How are you?
Everything's right in the world again.
Well, I don't know about that. I may surprise you. I don't take any glee in people having personal issues, traumas, and I really wish you the best, even though we don't agree on anything. You remember when Hugh Grant had his issue and he went on Jay Leno? Do you remember that interview?
Not really.
He said, "What the hell were you thinking?" So my first question to you is, you went through this difficulty, you resigned from office, and then you do it again. I'm like, what the hell are you thinking?
Well, it's not true, but I'm kind of done talking about this stuff. Went through weeks and months of talking about it, talked to your network and everyone else, so I'm kind of done talking about it.
Yeah, but just from a personal standpoint, did you learn something? Are you changing?
Look, I went through a long campaign where I let citizens who want to ask me about this ask me about it. I found, frankly, they want to talk a lot about health care. They want to talk about the condition of jobs in the city, want to talk about their lives. I think, frankly, a lot of us, sometimes TV hosts are like this, politicians are like this, they think this is all about us. It's not really, it's about their lives. Sure. I think people who watch your show, they're concerned, what's going to happen with their lives and the challenge facing the middle class and those struggling to make it. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I care about.
Do you think it's hard to make now, obviously you didn't do well in the mayoral race. Do you think people are unforgiving? You got a very low percentage of the vote.
You're
doing well until...
I don't know. You guys don't stop begging me to come on, so apparently you want to talk to me.
Well,
I certainly like talking to you.
I didn't beg you to come on. We asked you to come on. And by the way, I was kind of surprised you said yes.
Well, you asked me about 50 times.
We always ask. We ask everybody. I've asked President Obama 1,000 times.
So now I'm here and you want to ask me about why I'm here? Well, you invited me. If you don't want me here, I don't have to be here.
I'm asking you, do you...
Is it really?
No, look, everybody knows that you've been through this big thing. Yeah. You've never been on with me in 2 years. I have not spoken to you about it. Here's my question. I have a question.
Okay.
I thought maybe the reason you're here is because maybe you wanted to transition to television and maybe you're coming on this show in the hopes of replacing Chris Matthews.
Nope.
No, you don't want to do. What would you like to do in the future?
I don't know. I'm not here as part of a divine plan. You asked me to come on. You said you want to talk about Obamacare and the government.
We're going to talk about that.
And so I'm like, I'll be glad to talk to you about it. Frankly, it seems sometimes you need some explaining on things. I'm here to do it for you, brother.
Oh, you're here to help me out?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm here to do.
So it's not a fair question to ask you if you have any plans.
Have I said any of your questions are unfair?
No, I'm trying. Look, Anthony, you're very defensive. I'm not trying to.
Well, you want to have a conversation about me. I'm here to talk about
because you're a public
figure
figure that's been through a big scandal, and whether you like it or not, it's a big issue.
I understand you want to talk about me. I was invited on to talk about other things.
I asked you one simple question. You're so defensive. Here's the question. What are your plans?
You asked me a question, I answered them.
What would you like to do? What do you think you might like to do?
I don't know. It's only been a couple of weeks since, a month or so since the election. It was a grueling election. I'm getting back in touch with seeing my son every day again and spending some time when I'm not going to subway stops and things like that. And I'm concerned about the middle class and those struggling to make it in my city and in this country. And so I'll find something. You shouldn't worry about it.
I have one last question, then I'm going to move on to health care.
Okay.
One last question. So Sydney Leathers was on this program, and she said, of all the conservatives in the country, you hated me the most. And that you said, is that true? Because I thought we always got along. Yeah, that you disliked me the most.
No.
Oh. That's not true?
I hate you? I'm here on your show.
That doesn't mean you like me.
And by the way, I went on your radio shows. I went on the television show. Frankly, I was part of the group in Washington and the Democratic among progressives who didn't think it was heresy to come on Fox because I thought that even if sometimes it seemed like one hand clapping, I wanted to be there to do the best I could. So I'm here because you invited me.
All right, let me ask you about health care and the government shutdown, the debt ceiling. I could play a montage now of every Democrat on the debt ceiling saying that they weren't going to raise it, including Barack Obama. Now they claim that it would be almost immoral not to raise it. Is that hypocrisy?
I think you should raise the debt ceiling. I think these are bills incurred by the Congress. The debt ceiling should be raised. Boehner believes that. President believes that. I believe that. You believe that. So what's the argument?
Well, the argument is when Bush wanted to raise it, all the Democrats said they wouldn't do it, including Obama.
I think it's fair to say that people play politics with the debt limit, but no one does what this is, which is playing not only politics, but playing a game of standoff with the economy. Mm-hmm. That's a mistake. And I think what I don't understand, maybe you can explain to me, if Boehner thinks we should raise the debt limit, which he says, the president thinks it, Hannity and Wiener both think it, why don't they do it?
I'm not so sure if Hannity actually believes. I'll tell you what, if we...
Well, Hannity's bosses believe it. People who care about the stock price of this company believe. People who have 401k.
I don't know what my bosses believe. I haven't asked them about it. But I will tell you this. I speak for myself on this program. All right. And I would only tell you that I'm really afraid when we have $90 trillion in unfunded liabilities and we have $17 trillion in debt, and Obama's nearly will double it by the end of his second term from what every other president before him.
The debts have been run up already. It's only whether it's like you have a credit card and you say, well, I don't like the things I bought, so I'm not going to pay for it.
But you're missing my point. The point is, I'm worried. You have young kids. I have young kids.
You don't want to raise the debt limit? Is that your position?
No, if you listen, let me finish.
No, it's a simple question.
I'm the host. You're the guest.
I get to do questions. What am I, a potted plant? I get to do questions.
But if you let me finish, I'll tell you. I'm worried that your kids and my kids, that this is unsustainable. 90 trillion, 17 trillion. I don't think we can ever pay this back.
So change the policies, but that doesn't mean you don't pay the debts you already incurred. Do you believe we should raise the debt limit?
Well, first of all,
I mean, you talk to the mothership at the Republican Party. What do you believe? I'm curious. You're a smart guy.
I'm a registered conservative.
Whatever. Okay, registered. You speak to the mothership at that party. What do you think personally?
A lot of those mothership people don't like
the question. Why are you so defensive?
I'm not defensive. I'm enjoying this, actually. You're cracking me up.
Do you believe we should raise the debt limit and pay our bills?
I think we have to in the end.
So everyone agrees that.
Hang on.
So the only reason it doesn't happen is why?
Can I just give you an explanation?
What are you looking at?
I'm not looking. There's nobody here for help. It's an empty studio. I'm looking at the cameraman. Here's my help. What I'm saying is, but you have to, if we're worried about the debt that we're putting on our children and grandchildren, Anthony, then the answer is simple. You've got to have with it some type.
I agree. Change policies. I agree.
Okay, but I think it's got to be connected to it because because I don't think this president, who's nearly doubled the debt of every other president, has any desire to do that.
Hold on a second. First of all, I don't think there's even any disagreement about connecting the things. In the past, there have been things connected to the debt limit. Time out. The question is, do you hold the raising of the debt limit and the entire economy hostage unless you get everything you want? Raise the debt.
Who's holding hostage?
Can I answer? Well, right now, apparently someone's holding someone hostage here, right?
Really?
Then raise the debt limit. You haven't yet to answer me why that hasn't happened.
Well, I think because the president said he won't negotiate.
The president won't negotiate.
He's the only one that's holding anybody hostage.
Hold on. You said you wanted the debt limit. So why is it a gift to the president?
I said if we get spending under control with it. I think you cannot just raise the debt ceiling.
Okay, so then you said, you said to me, well, there should be something with it. The president doesn't dispute that.
You're auditioning for MSNBC. You're auditioning. You want Chris Matthews' job.
Listen,
I can tell. You want to ask the questions. You want to be Chris Matthews.
Here's the problem.
You never shut up like Chris Matthews either.
Why do you always have patsies on? You just guys. Why is it you don't want to have someone who pushes you a little bit on the basic assumptions of your argument?
Listen, you want a job at MSNBC. I got it. Now I know why you came here today.
Fox apparently has much lower standards. I'd much have a job on Fox.
Oh, ouch. Ooh. Want me to talk about low standards? You really want to go there?
I'll go wherever you want. I'm here for an interview, apparently. Who do you keep looking? Where do you keep looking? Who's over there?
There's a camera over there.